Hi guys, so in this video today, more than 24 hours after yet another defeat in the Premier League by Liverpool against Crystal Palace by 3-1. So yesterday, as you all know, I wanted to debate with you about who else but the current Liverpool manager, Brendan Rodgers. Now, I don't know if I would think that many of you probably listened to what Jamie Carragher said last night on TV, on Sky Sports. Basically, Jamie Carragher, so after the 3-1 defeat yesterday, said that the current situation at Liverpool right now is more than just a bad patch. It's more than just being it's more than bad form. Things are wrong. Things are clearly, worryingly, for Liverpool fans, obviously, very things are just not you get worried with what's happening at Liverpool right now as a Liverpool fan. And Jamie Carragher said the word yesterday. It's a worry. It's more than bad form. It's more than a bad patch. He said that last night, yesterday, the players didn't look bothered. They got bullied. And when this happens, you get worried. You do worry. Now, it's very difficult to pinpoint exactly what's wrong with the club, with the team. Obviously, prior to this Crystal Palace game a few days before, Liverpool got the bad news again that Daniel Sturridge would be out against until God knows when, until the new year, probably won't play again before January. And between now and January, Liverpool do have an awful lot of games, both in Europe, the Carling Cup, whatnot, and the league, obviously. Now, very quickly on Daniel Sturridge. I think, like I said before in my previous video, the guy is very unfortunate, extremely injury prone, but I think it's come to a point now where Liverpool, like I said, it's very unfortunate, but we simply do not, we must make as if Daniel Sturridge doesn't exist, because this is what's happening. He hasn't played since, I think, the Tottenham game, actually. Yeah, he played only 2 games so far from the 12 only league games of the season so far for Liverpool, and has missed all the Champions League games, all the Carling Cup games, and adding up on top of the 12 league games that he has missed so far. So for me, it's as if Daniel Sturridge doesn't exist. All right, this is it's unfortunate, it's ridiculous, it's whatever, but Daniel Sturridge doesn't exist. We must stop with this thing, living in hope that Daniel Sturridge will come at some kind of savior to salvage our season, which is becoming which is rapidly becoming a nightmare season for Liverpool. Now, Daniel Sturridge aside, like I said also before, it is a significant factor in Liverpool's in the fact that Liverpool is having a bad season. But that is, for me, it is simply unacceptable that due to the absence of only one player, no matter how influential this player is, no question, no matter how talented this player is, it is simply unacceptable that Liverpool, despite having spent, I'm repeating it yet again, and you all know it all too well, more than £100 million in the transfer market, it is unacceptable, despite Daniel Sturridge's long-term injury, for the team to be in such an appalling position in the league and in the Champions League, in just about everywhere. So I think yesterday was the 4th defeat in a row in all competitions. The same problems again was there for all to see yesterday for the league game against Crystal Palace. I hoped that the international break, like I said before, 2 weeks ago, would have allowed Brendan Rodgers to have a long and hard look about himself, to at long last show some kind of flexibility in terms of his tactical preparation for games, and simply alternate the tactics. Like I said also before, I'm not a manager. We as Liverpool fans, we probably do not have all the background information, whether players are fit or not, in terms of the selection available to the manager or not. But clearly, I'm sorry now, guys, it's come to a point now that it's either, for me, like I said, stubbornness or stupidity. I think it's a mixture of a bit of both for me, considering Brendan Rodgers. Because, yet again, let me remind you, he started with only one up front. Obviously, I think Mario Balotelli was injured, but Fabio Borini, why the hell was Fabio Borini on the bench? I would have put stick with a diamond in midfield and 2 up front, but he still chose to put only Ricky Lambert up front. Granted, in the first minute, it looked as if it would have been a good day for Liverpool, but because I think inside the first 90 seconds, Adam Lallana, as you all know, with a wonderful diagonal long ball, spotted the runner of Ricky Lambert in the box, and a good finish, and Liverpool were 1-0 up after 90 seconds in the game. It looked promising, but the demons of all the games, with the exception of the Tottenham game, quickly haunted Liverpool back. And as soon as Crystal Palace equalized, you could see that there was simply no way back for Liverpool, despite the fact that there remained, I think the equalizer came in the first half, but there was still more than half of the game left to play. But no matter the time left, with Liverpool's the system again, the strategy, and this is down to the manager. Obviously, it's down to the players also, the fact that they are on form, off form, do they have the motivation? It does play a part on the players' level, but I think it's more down to the manager. The tactics are simply not right. We ended up yet again playing many square passes, not leading to anywhere, not absolutely not incisive enough. No creativity, no penetration in attack, lethargic, slow. Ricky Lambert isolated up front. Raheem Sterling on the wide, running into blind alleys, easily neutralized by the Crystal Palace defense. The defense, and Steven Gerrard in front of the defense in his holding midfield role. It simply doesn't work, guys. This is, and it's getting tiresome now to repeat ourselves yet again. It's not only me, it's many other fans or the pundits or whatever. The system is simply not working. And what's the most surprising in all this is that Brendan Rodgers is persisting. Brendan Rodgers' persistence with something that bloody doesn't work. Now, obviously, for me, the new players, along with the players that Liverpool had last season, are not performing. This is a blatant fact, obviously. But then again, it's about the players' performance and also about the manager's tactics, which are all wrong for me. Stop bloody playing only one up front for a start. Stick back to the diamond. It cannot get any worse. At least give it a try, if you see what I mean. Now, it has come to a point whether even you ask yourself whether Brendan Rodgers is doing this on purpose. It's getting so ridiculous and desperate now. Trying again and again and again, persisting with something that doesn't work. You ask yourself with the question, like I said, whether the manager is stupid or is simply doing it on purpose to kind of prove something. Now, I will put a link below in this video in the comment section about an article on Tony Barrett about the transfers. Brilliant, absolutely excellent article. You have the link below in the comment section. Have a read, Liverpool fans. Let me know your thoughts. I think Tony Barrett there was spot on. Now, we all tend to have this. As soon as things go wrong, we need to go back to the transfer market and buy ourselves out of trouble. Now, I think yet again, this transfer committee have a lot of questions to answer. The owners included, because for a start, it's them who implemented this system. And Brendan Rodgers. Now, probably Brendan Rodgers doesn't have the last say in this committee system. It's a group decision. But he is in this group. He is in this committee. At some point, he also has the responsibility and he has answers to give about many players. Me, for a start, if you go back to my videos in the summer, guys, you will see that actually none of the new signings, none of them, guys, got me overexcited. I wasn't happy about none of the new signings. I said that they were not bad players, but with regards to their price tags and to what they have achieved before in their career, it wasn't for me. I'm talking obviously about all the 9 new players that Liverpool bought. They were not bad players. Once again, like I said, go back to my videos in the summer. Every time Liverpool completed the deals for the likes of Lovren, Lallana, Lambert, Markovic, Manquillo, Moreno, I wasn't overexcited, guys, and I kept repeating myself. I told you, especially at the price that we were paying, we could have done better. There was also huge frustration about Liverpool yet again missing out on big name players like Alexis Sanchez or even Di Maria to some extent, even Shaqiri. So, for me, with regards to the failures in the new players adapting and producing on the pitch, it's not a surprise for me. It's not a surprise, especially if you go back to my videos in the summer. But what's surprising is with the speed at which Brendan Rodgers' ability as a manager has deteriorated. This is quite a surprise for me. Now, I don't know, guys, let me know your thoughts once again. But for me, if things do not improve very quickly now, I can only see the sacking of Brendan Rodgers. I won't go as far as I won't tell you that this will I will be happy about this, because it's never a good thing, and I'm thinking more about the club than the man, Brendan Rodgers. I'm not a fan of Brendan Rodgers, but I do not want his downfall, because wanting the downfall of Brendan Rodgers would mean wanting the downfall of the club, because it's always it's never a good thing changing manager, sacking a manager, because for a start it costs money. You need to bring a new manager, you need to have the perfect candidate available. Once you get the right new man in the new post, it means you have to start all over again, a new 5-year plan, new players, new philosophy or whatever. It's never a good thing. But then again, if the current manager is not working, the club is the most important thing, if you see what I mean. So at times you need to take brave decisions. But then again also, the owners, the actual system, the actual transfer decision system, and Brendan Rodgers is responsible, but I don't think 100% responsible for what's going wrong with the club right now. Also though, I would say that what has he achieved, Brendan Rodgers, in his career? He is obviously a young manager, still learning his trade also. He has, but in his CV, Brendan Rodgers, he hasn't won anything, guys. I'm sorry. He's still a young manager. He's not, I wouldn't go as far as say that he's rubbish. He's a rubbish manager, but then again, he hasn't achieved anything spectacular for me. And I'm fed up, more than fed up, fucking fed up of the word last season. Now stop it with this, like I said also in my previous videos, yet again, last season is history. Stop talking about last season, it's finished. It doesn't exist for me last season. It was great, granted, it was a dream season. Liverpool were a thread away from clinching the league title, but it's finished. It doesn't exist. New personnel, new players, and clearly not the same form as last season. So it's finished. I do not want to hear this word last season again. It's bloody finished. When I hear the fans, the pundits or whatever, Liverpool did so well last season that this season, stop talking about last season, for fuck's sake. Seriously, last season is bloody finished. I don't want to hear about last season anymore. And the fact that last season was a fantastic season, granted, doesn't mean that Brendan Rodgers is a fantastic manager and deserves an awful lot of time for what he did bloody fucking last season. As far as I'm concerned, Brendan Rodgers hasn't achieved anything, hasn't won anything, no matter during his Liverpool career or in his Swansea career, Reading, Watford or whatever, wherever he comes from. I don't want to be disrespectful there, guys, but I think this guy needs to get things sorted very, very, very quickly now. Like I said also before, I will not have an ounce of sympathy for this guy, Brendan Rodgers. I'm sorry. Because he keeps doing things and implementing a strategy, tactics that are not working, and keeps doing it over and over and over again. I'm all for, you know, you can do mistakes in life, but if you do not learn from your mistakes, you keep doing the same mistakes over and over again, there's only one issue. I'm sorry. And it would seem no matter what, and it's an alarming downfall now for Liverpool. Very, very soon, if not now already, we will be enjoying ourselves the excitement of a relegation battle for Liverpool. And this is what's the most painful in all this? The club. We, us, Liverpool fans. We cannot tolerate this. And how about the state of the club, of having to rely on, don't want to be disrespectful to the current players again now, but coming from a player like Luis Suarez, the caliber of Luis Suarez, and having to rely on players of Ricky Lambert and Fabio Borini, no matter how professional they are, no matter how good professionals they can be, no matter how 100% effort they can put in. But we are Liverpool, for God's sake. I want to win. I want the club to win trophies, to fight for the best of the best. I'm not about mediocrity here. I'm all for being patient and being realist and knowing that on financial level we are nowhere near the likes of Chelsea, City or whatever. But I want to win at the end of the day. I want the club to win, to fight for the Champions League, for the Premier League, to fight it out for the best players, the world-class players. I don't want myself relying my hopes on players like Ricky Lambert and fucking Fabio Borini. Seriously, how is it possible to have ended in such a situation after having spent more than £100 million relying our hopes on players like Ricky Lambert and Fabio Borini? And a veteran like Steven Gerrard, for God's sake. Steven Gerrard needs to get out of the team. I'm sorry guys, no matter how much he has given to the club. He is an absolute legend for the club. There's nothing to question about this. But it's time to go, Steven Gerrard. I'm sorry. Steven Gerrard doesn't bring anything. We need to have the balls now to say it loud and clear. Steven Gerrard needs to get out of this team. Steven Gerrard cannot play in the first team anymore. I'm sorry guys. He's too slow. Last season, even myself, I'm falling in this fucking trap of talking about last season. Last season it worked. He did a good job in this holding midfield role. But now, the movement and the mediocrity of our players up front, or their loss of form or whatever, I'm talking about Coutinho, Sterling not performing, and even Jordan Henderson, is such that Steven Gerrard is fucking useless in the team now and needs to be removed. Dejan fucking Lovren, no matter how costly he has been, £20 million, need to get the fuck out of the first team. And how desperate again to say we are in a situation when I'm calling for the likes of Kolo Toure to come back and save our defense. And what does it say about the state of a goalkeeper who cannot even take a fucking goal kick? Seriously. How fucking mediocre it has come. Let me know your thoughts guys, but for me, I'm hoping with all my heart yet again that things get better. I'm clearly, believe me, honest to God guys, I'm not hoping and praying for Brendan Rodgers to get the sack. But we are getting towards it guys. And to be perfectly honest with you, I do not believe in this guy anymore. I simply do not believe in this guy anymore. Very simply because he doesn't change anything. He keeps doing the same mistakes over and over again and again. The results are the same. The results are bound to be the same. Liverpool will keep losing. And this no matter the opposition. No matter the opposition. I'm telling you. The likes of Lovren, Gerrard, Glenn Johnson mustn't play anymore until we sort out things in the next, I don't know, in the next transfer window. I'm sorry guys. So let me know your thoughts. This is what I wanted to tell you right now about the state of affairs regarding the manager. Clearly not impressed by Brendan Rodgers. For me, he hasn't achieved anything. And he's a mid-table manager. I'm sorry, guys. That's not being disrespectful. That's being realist. Brendan Rodgers is a mid-table manager. So prove me wrong, Brendan Rodgers. Prove me wrong. Prove me that you can do it. That we can believe in you. Prove it not only to myself, but for the club, the Liverpool fans, who are putting all this energy and this belief in you. This needs to be warranted. You need to deserve this belief. And right now, he doesn't deserve the belief and the faith of the fans. I'm sorry, guys. And he doesn't deserve any more time, even. Because he hasn't achieved fucking anything, Brendan Rodgers. Anything. I'm sorry. He hasn't won anything. He's a mid-table, mediocre manager. At least all his actions are... This leads me to qualifying him as a mid-table fucking mediocre manager. I'm sorry. Who hasn't won anything in his career, in his young career. And I'm so fed up, guys, of hearing Brendan Rodgers saying, young Raheem, young Felipe, young Flanagan, young this, young that, young... It's almost as if one day he will say young Ricky Lambert. Well, you know what, young Brendan Rodgers, get your act together very quickly, or else get the fuck out of our club. Seriously. Seriously now, guys. And the same applies for Steven Gerrard. I'm sorry. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Alright. And what do you think will happen in the next game in the Champions League against Ludogorets? Especially with Lovren at the back, Glenn Johnson at the back again, with only one up front. What do you think will happen? Prove me wrong. Please, please, please prove me wrong, Brendan Rodgers. Alright, I leave you there.